Well, I was thinking the same thing. What kind of stories could I tell that lift people's spirits? And I went to my boss. I said, we've got all these World War II veterans who've never talked about what they did.
Yeah.
And these stories are mind blowing. And at first he said, nobody wants to hear a bunch of old guys talk. But eventually I got to do that. And one of the first veterans I interviewed was my grandpa. So we got a Silver Star for pulling 26 guys out of burning tanks in this ambush in France where the Germans were raining shells down on them. And I asked him, I said, so the shells were still coming in and you and your Jeep driver kept going in and pulling guys out. You're putting yourself in harm's way. What were you thinking? He says, what was I thinking? I was pretty sure I was going to get killed. I said, I'm glad you didn't. And he said, yeah, you wouldn't be around. And when that hit me like a ton of bricks, like I wouldn't exist if my grandfather didn't survive World War II.
Right.
So since then, I've interviewed over 1,000 World War II guys all over the country. They all have one of those moments that makes their family think, hey, that's how close I came to not even being born. And the other thing that really hooked me on it, and that's led to the radio show and Central Valley Honor Flight and all these other things that I never planned on because God's plans are better than ours. Every time I would interview a veteran, trying to get them to share their story.
Yeah.
Every time. And this still happens today. I would hear the wife of 60, 70, now 80 years, the daughter, the son, someone say, I've never heard that before. And that just blew my mind. You could go through these incredible things and not tell anybody.
Learn how Paul put his trust in God, which led him to something greater than himself. God's plan is better than ours. Listen to it now on Spotify and YouTube on Sabiduría para tu Día con Alvaro Martinez.